Welcome to Being You, an SPH Productions presentation. My name is Shane Hodges, licensed professional counselor and author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Self. My guest today is Marcie Smith, singer, songwriter, and mental health and wellness badass. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
It's good to see you again. Our first segment is called I'm Just Me, a rapid-fire Q&A where my guest and I will each get about 45 seconds to ask each other as many questions as we can. We played beer pong beforehand to see who goes first, and you won, so it's all you. Let me get my timer ready. All right, ready to go? Go for it.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Oh. Sadly, it's probably be yourself, but I didn't take it.
What's the worst advice you've ever received?
I don't know that it's the worst necessarily, but something that didn't necessarily fit was never leave a job without having something else lined up.
In one word, describe your feelings on the new presidency.
Disgusting.
If you come back as any other person or animal, who or what would you be?
Ooh. Oh, God. I have no idea.
Oh,
I wouldn't be an animal.
Stumped you? Was this
Yeah,
the
I
first
wouldn't
one?
be an animal.
Okay.
But I would want to be a person, I think.
Okay.
Although, actually, no. I would want to be a golden retriever.
Okay.
Yeah. Just being lazy and beautiful and taken care of all the time.
Nice. That's our time.
Oh, that's our time. All right. Those good ones. It's always interesting to me because I've done this now a few times and there have only been a couple repeats,
Okay.
which is surprising to me. So, are you ready for yours?
I'm ready.
Okay. A reality show you'd go on.
I was on American Idol.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, I'd go on Amazing Race.
Oh, yes. Okay. Shower or bath?
Bath.
A bad habit you have?
Mm. Jeez. I don't have discipline.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Would you marry for money?
Yes.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
Favorite date spot?
Beach.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who inspires you?
Me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. A chore you hate?
Cleaning anything.
Life event that stands out?
Life event that stands out. Jeez. Any move. All my moves.
Okay. How
Very
so?
eventy. You know, that stress scale that all psychologists has, like moves are like number 2 next to death. And I always get so stressed out, but then I'm so excited. There's just so many new things. I get to like pick new furniture and just have a new space. And I like reinventing me and my spaces. So I like moving, oddly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I love it, and it's also very stressful. Yeah. Now it is time for What's Your Deal, where we learn a bit more about what our guest does. So, tell us a little bit about how you got into singing and writing songs.
Well, I loved doing karaoke. I didn't think that I was any good at it. I had a fun time. I'd sing in my room, I'd sing in the shower. And then my little sister actually wanted to audition for American Idol and drug me with her, and I did not want to do it. I literally was like, this doesn't sound like a good time. This is a lot of anxiety. And
How old were you?
I was 28.
Okay.
And so that's the last year that you can audition. So by the way, it cuts off at 28.
Okay.
And so I was like, okay, fine. It's my last year or the only time I'll ever be able to do this. Let's just try it. And I kept making it through the auditions. And the more I made it through auditions, I was like, oh my God, I can sing. At first, I thought they were keeping me as like the blooper. I did. Straight because they kept having me like the first. So you go through like 2 auditions and then then you finally get to like Paula, Simon, or Randy at the time. And they had me sing like 4 songs. And I was like, oh my God, they're just getting material. They're going to dog me on national TV. And then I got a golden ticket. And I was like, oh my God. And
That's awesome.
So the further I got through the process, I was just like, oh my, I can actually sing. And other people think I can sing. And so I was like, that's how I got into it. Literally, I had never recorded anything. I had never sang in public outside of doing like karaoke.
How crazy.
Yeah.
So, what do you get out of, and or what do you feel when you sing?
It depends on the song. Yeah, and it depends on the crowd. If you have a really engaged crowd, it's just the most amazing feeling
Mm-hmm.
because as a singer, especially and as a songwriter, if you're singing your own original music and
Mm-hmm.
the crowd is just loving you, it just fills spaces in your body and mind that like don't get filled any other way. So,
With regard to the songwriting, what gets you there? How do you come to write?
like a huge process. So I was really lucky. I was surrounded by really good producers, vocal production, and other songwriters right at the beginning.
Nice.
I would watch what they did and honestly just try and emulate it. Oftentimes, when you're writing for other people, you want to get to know them. It's like this you interview them, you want to know like what makes them tick, what's going to make them emote in the song so that other people can feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be my motivation. And then for myself, my biggest motivation in doing my first album was I wanted to be super gay because I had never been super gay in my life.
Okay.
I was in the closet a lot in the music industry. At the time, I'm old. At the time, they were like, "You can't be gay. You can't be a gay pop. That's not gonna work. Like, I need you to be act as straight as you possibly can." And so when I got to do my own project, I was like, every song's gonna be about a woman, and every song is going to discuss my relationship as a lesbian. And so, like, yeah, it was really personal.
How old were you when the first album came out?
I was 38.
Okay.
So it was like 10 years after I
Mm-hmm.
really started working in the industry.
How did it feel to do that gay album and just stick to that authenticity?
Amazing. I was so excited. I mean, like, so excited. It was just so fun. And I truly got to be my authentic self. I've
Mm-hmm.
never felt more comfortable in singing songs
Mm-hmm.
that, I wrote than I did being able to write my own album.
And was it all original songs?
It was all original songs.
Love
Yeah.
that. Okay. Who do you see as an inspiration?
I love Janet Jackson.
Mm.
I just went and saw her in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
This woman is damn near 60 years old and she's just still getting it. Her vocals are on point. People always think she's not singing. And some songs, yes, she has on a track because she's dancing. But like her songs where she's like holding the mic, she's singing.
Mm-hmm.
She sounds amazing. She looks amazing.
Yeah.
She seems very comfortable in her skin now. Like
That now.
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 Yes.
I agree.
Now she's just like,
Okay,
this
here
is
I am.
it. Yep. It is
Yeah,
what it
I'd
is.
love to see that.
Yeah.
Well, let's hop tracks. We'll go over to the mental health side. Regarding your work in mental health, what challenges have you or do you face regularly?
People. I'm dead ass serious. People. People are like so in their own way. It's not even funny. It's like you came here. Why? Oh, you want to complain. You don't actually want it to get better.
Yeah.
Yes.
Huge frustration. Okay. So, what do you hope to accomplish in that field or with that work?
I'm working that out right now. So I'm going through a certification program to do health and wellness coaching.
Nice. Congrats.
Thank you. I really like helping people live a better life and a life that has more joy than it has like the other negative emotions.
Okay, this is a big part of what I have leaned into in recent years. Why? What do you like about that? What do you get out of it?
Intrinsically, it makes me smile from like the inside out. I love when someone has that aha moment in front of me. They're just like, oh, okay, I don't have to get up and be miserable every day. I don't have to allow people to cross my boundaries constantly and then feel awful about it. I love seeing them realize that they are the owners of their own lives and they can change it at any time.
When did you figure that out?
I would say probably around 40. Yeah, it took me a minute.
Same.
I let my family blow me up. And then I went out into the world and took all that I learned from them and blew up other people.
Okay. Yeah.
I was lucky. I had a lot of really good mentors. I had good people around me. I had wonderful spiritual guide humans around me. And it just completely 360 how I live my life.
How did you get into the mental health field?
I think I've always kind of been in it. I've always been attracted to yoga and just self-care and like how do I live a better life? I used to go to church. It was called Agape in LA, and everyone there was just happy. But it wasn't like church. Agape is just more like love and how can you be your best self. Watching those people, I was like, I want that. I want to get up and be happy to be here.
Amen.
And so I started to do the same thing I did with songwriting, honestly. I started to surround myself with people that felt good and that made me feel good and then taught me how to sustain it and how to have it.
Boundaries, choices. It's amazing what a difference it makes.
Stop it.
Last question regarding the mental health stuff. How has authenticity played a part in your work with students?
I just really have been seeing this past year, especially with this whole ridiculous government show situation. The more I show up exactly how I am emotionally, mentally, physically, the better it is for my students. Like my students love that I'm gay. They tell me this. It cracks me up every time. They're just like, because like you don't look like a lesbian, like the hardcore lesbians. Like you look like you could just be anybody, but like you're a lesbian and that's so cool. And it makes me so happy that like me showing up exactly how I am gives someone else all the confidence to do that for themselves and not have to change themselves.
Yeah.
In any way, shape, or form.
I think there's so much to that. Well, thank you for sharing. I have not worked with you super directly on the mental health stuff, but I know we've discussed things over the years. I've seen you perform a few times. If you get the opportunity, find out where she is, go see her. She's amazing. That being said, let's get a little more personal. What's your favorite thing to do when you do finally get some alone time?
Nothing.
Right?
Like, no, I'm so serious. Nothing. People will be like, oh, you're such a busybody. You're in the streets all the time. You do. No, I'm on my couch watching, I don't even know what, because I'm actually probably on my phone playing some mindless game. And I made myself a really nice meal.
What do you like to cook for yourself?
Everything. I love to cook. I'm a big meat eater right now. I don't know why, but I've just really dove into like protein because I'm old and you got to keep your muscle. So I've just been cooking all kinds of different meats and just like pairing them with like fruit or
I love a little sweet and savory. And I like to try different things.
I've been like really working on my marinade game.
What would be something that your childhood self would notice about you now?
My childhood self would notice that I can now self-regulate, which doesn't sound like a big deal.
Huge.
But if you can't self-regulate, you can't do anything. Your relationships are awful if you can't.
And we've touched on the aspect of kind of what's going on in the world right now. And I want to ask, and this is perhaps a rather personal question, but as someone who is part of multiple marginalized groups, what struggles are you facing or have you faced?
That's an interesting question. So I wouldn't say that I am necessarily struggling myself.
Okay.
What I am struggling with is watching other people that look like me go through major struggles. I, thank goodness, I'm so resourced and I have lots of tools. Yes. And I'm able to look at what's going on and not have it, I think, affect me as much as it does some other folks. And I have a lot of support. I have people that would lay down and take people out for me, and that's major. And a lot of people don't have that. Yeah. So my struggle has really been looking at some of my friends or my students or even family members that are not as resourced as I am, and watching them or watching horrible things happen to them and not having any way to do anything about it. That has been pretty awful.
And you mentioned you being resourced and being unable to do something for your students or others who are less resourced. I think for those of us in this field, we're often seen as a resource. And to be in this position where it's like, I don't know what to tell you or what to do, and I'm also dealing with kind of what's going on in my own way, it's exhausting.
It's completely exhausting. It's like you can't hold that much space. One person can't hold that much space.
Exactly.
And I've gotten to that point. I've gotten to that point where I'm just like, what space do I have to hold today?
Yes.
And if it's none, I'm just not going. I'm not going to work. Yeah. Or I'm not dealing with X, Y, and Z. Yeah. Because I'm only one person.
Exactly. Let's see here. What is something people don't know about you or assume about you that's incorrect?
I'm super sportsy and I'm super competitive. And I think people are always very shocked.
Shocked at all.
Really?
No.
Okay, good.
I totally see you being competitive.
Super competitive. I'm competitive to the point where, like, I will hurt your feelings if you're winning.
Sports are like games.
It's everything. It's a problem.
Right. We're going to have to do game night together. Okay. When it comes to being authentic, what do you feel you struggled with the most?
I think that I show up in spaces. I'm as authentic as the space is safe.
I appreciate that way of putting it. I talk about this a lot because I noticed when I did the book, a lot of people started coming at me with different aspects of, well, what do you mean be authentic? And I noticed that I often went more to, well, here's what it means to be inauthentic. If you are choosing to tone it down or to not be 100% outwardly yourself, for a reason like safety especially, I don't see that as being inauthentic. I see that as being wise and recognizing I'm aware of my surroundings for safety reasons. Yeah. I don't really see you being someone who's inauthentic very often.
No, I'm a Sagittarius. I don't even think I know how to be inauthentic. You know me. And you knew what to expect. And here we are.
Well, exactly. This brings us then to the wow segment of our program, the words of wisdom. What, if anything, would you like to share with our viewers or others in regard to being their authentic selves?
I think that being authentic starts with overall kindness. And I think we take that word too lightly, especially right now. If we could just treat each other with more kindness instead of less, I think a lot of this would just naturally get better. And it's sad that it comes down to that one little tiny word, but it's true. I just think that we've lost a lot of authenticness with just being unkind to each other.
I agree. Thank you so much for being here today. It's always good to chat with you. We'll do some more catching up. What, if anything, would you like to share with our guests in terms of socials, contact information, how to find you, and or where you are performing?
You guys can find me at freakishlygood_music on Instagram. Freakishly Good on TikTok. My TikTok content, by the way, is so much more entertaining, I will say. Instagram. So if you want to be entertained, go on over there.
I appreciate the difference. Yeah,
totally. And then my mental health and wellness stuff is actually freakishly good stuff. It used to be Mindful Marcie, but I just feel like, freakishly good stuff is a really good.
I love that.
Title for what I do over there. And yeah.
Love it. Thank you all again for watching. My name is Shane Hodges, author of It's Time to Be You, How to Become Your Most Authentic Self. You can find me on Instagram at DenverGuy76. My website is sphproductions.com or Shane Hodges Authentic on YouTube. Thank you all for watching and tune in next time. Have a great day and be yourself.